All right, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. As you see on the screen, this past week I got absolutely destroyed by CPI on AUD USD, and we're just gonna break down the trade, my reason for getting into it, my thought process, and the time I got into it and all that, man, and how I felt with this big blue candle that stopped me out. But before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all the love and support on the previous videos. I do respond to all comments, so just leave a comment. Let me know if you guys trade prop firms, if you guys trade live capital, or anything that you want me to want to discuss with me. Also, follow my Instagram. It'll be down in the description below. I'll also pop it up on the screen. And without further ado, let's go and get into it. Alrighty, so I'm starting off on a weekly time frame just to see if price is bullish or bearish. When there's a big red candle like this on the weekly time frame, I sort of consider that structure. But one thing that I like to do is go to the line chart, and you see how we have this big curve, or not curve, but point right here. That just shows me that, yeah, I could count that as structure. So if I was to mark it up on a line chart, this would be the higher high, this would be the higher low. Price broke under, did all this, ended up making a lower low. And all this is just to make sure that I know which direction price is going. So after price broke that higher low, it went bearish. So now this became the lower low, lower high. Price then broke this high. Boom. Boom. That would be my area. And then once price broke back under here, that would consider us being bearish on the weekly. So, and like I said, sometimes I go to the line chart just to give me some clear identification, just because I'm not sure. Like I said, I usually follow my 2 candle rule, but in this case it's only 1 candle, so that's when I go to the line chart to see, is it a big enough move to be able to consider it as structure. And in this case it was. So on the weekly, we are seeing if it's bullish or bearish. In this case it was bearish. And then we drop down to the daily and we do the same exact thing. Okay, so now on the daily, I sort of do the same thing. Well, for this trade, I had to do the same thing. I wasn't sure if all this was market structure up here, so I went to line chart, and I ended up seeing that this point. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. You see how this point is higher than this point? So this would then be the higher high, and this would be the higher low. Meaning that once price broke under here, then this point became the lower low, and this remained the lower high. So it was hard to tell for this previous week just because the candles were so close together. But once we saw that price was still in this range, and once price broke below this range, so as price was in this range, once it broke below, then this becomes the lower low, this becomes the lower high. Meaning that on the daily, price is bearish. So on the weeklies bearish, the daily's bearish. This candle wasn't here. This candle wasn't here yet. So this is how it looked. Now, since we're on a daily, let's go ahead and find our area of interest that I talk about. All we have to do is zoom out. And again, all we're looking for is the level of structure that price was at, came to, and respected multiple times. We have one right here. All this right here. Another one right here. And again, once you excuse me, once you practice your area of interest and all that, then I'm telling you, it'll be so easy to spot them. So in this case, as you see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 areas where price came to and rejected. Once we broke above, it used it as support, came back, used it as support. So now that it broke below, what am I going to be looking for? I'm going to be looking for price to come back into this area as it did and use it as rejection. And that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for price to come back and then reject off this area, as I've seen it do plenty of times before. Now, price did come back, gave me an entry signal and all, which we will go over right now. And I took this on the 15-minute time frame. Again, the weekly and the daily are bearish, so we don't have to worry about what the 4 hour is doing. But in this case, if you want to, you see that price. This was the lower low, lower high. Price was bearish. All I needed the 4 hours to do was get back into the zone. But on the 1 hour, I didn't get any. On the 1 hour, I didn't get any type of entry candle. Okay, that's perfectly fine. On the 30-minute, I didn't get any type of entry candle. And it was on the 15-minute, as you see here, that I got my entry. Now, if you've been following the channel, you already know that I need price to change direction to come into this area of interest. So what I mean by that, we know on the daily price broke below. And what I say on the daily, I need I need the candles to reach back up to my area of interest. Then that's when I look for an entry signal. So all we're looking at is market structure. See all this, all this, all this, all this, all this. This is the lowest point. Once price broke above here, the 15-minute is bullish. So that's exactly what I need. Need the 15-minute to go bullish. I don't care how long it takes. Keep going bullish all the way up until it reaches my zone. Once it reaches my zone, then what I need is for a shift of structure. And as you see, we got that. This was a higher high, higher low. We got our shift of structure right here. Boom. Market body, candles body closed above this previous level. So that indicates that we're now bearish on the 15-minute. I need the 15 minutes to go bearish because that's when, or I need the lower time frames to go bearish because that's what gives me my signal and lets me know, okay, the higher time frames are already bearish. All I need is the lower time frames to then go bearish to let me know that it's time to sell and it's time to go down. So price broke below, made the 15-minute bearish, gave me a pullback, and as you see here, engulfing candle. This was my entry. So at that point, and turn right there. Oh, that's the wrong one. And turn right here for shorts. Now I could have put my stop loss above here, which is what I usually do. I usually put it above the previous level of structure, but this was only 6 pips and I wanted to give the trade some room to breathe. So I think I put it at, if I'm not mistaken, 20. Yeah, I think it was around 20, just to let price breathe in case price wants to come back into the zone, you know what I'm saying, go up a little more, blah, 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 do all that. So once I saw that, I entered the trade, put my stop loss, and just closed the charts, honestly. Now, I took the trade at around like 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. Now, the reason, actually, let me see, when was this? So this happened at 4:15. Okay, I took it at, I wasn't up at 4:15, but I woke up for my job and I saw that price was right here. So I was like, okay, perfect. Still in the area. Go ahead and hop into the trade and then close the charts. Now, I was aware that CPI was coming out at 8:30, but I wasn't going to let CPI stop me from taking the trade. And that's something that Alex has talked about to us in the 3-day boot camp and online on YouTube and stuff. He was saying that, you know, news makes people scared to hop into trades, which is understandable because I haven't hopped in many trades because I know news was coming out, and sometimes it helped save me from losses, and sometimes price went in my direction and I could have, won big. But we don't know what the market's going to do. We don't know what news is going to do. So sitting back and not taking a trade is just pointless, because it doesn't matter if news is coming out. It could be a perfect day with no news. You're still not going to know what the market's going to do. So at no given point are you going to know what the market's going to do. As long as the price and the candles are giving you and showing you an entry, take the trade. Now, at the same time, be smart. Don't hop in. Like, for instance, I didn't hop in this trade knowing CPI was coming out and I wanted CPI, or I was hoping CPI would go in my direction, so I just hopped in it. No, I hopped in the trade because it checked off everything that I needed in order to take the entry before CPI actually hit. Now, did I win? Absolutely not, because you see how big this candle was. CPI did not go in my favor, and it is what it is. Now, I took this on my live account, and I took this on the 200K funded account with Rocket 21. I've only risked 2% on the funded account, but this candle happened so fast and it was so dramatic that I ended up losing 3%. So I lost $6,000 on the funded. Not crazy. I mean, to be honest, I was gonna risk 3% even if CPI wasn't coming out. I would have risked 3% on this trade because I was confident in it. Now, on the live account, which I want to talk about, is where I did something stupid. So on the live account, I usually risk about 5%. Just because it's a small account, I want to try to grow it semi-fast, but not at the same time not risk all the capital. So when I take trades on a live account, I usually put 2 to 3 entries, all at 5%, and it usually works out. Now, in this case, again, I did something stupid, not realizing that CPI is such a big event that it could literally, if I'm risking 5%, that's fine. If I'm going to risk 5%, at least just do 1 entry. My dumbass did 3 entries at 5%. So instead of me losing, I think if I calculated right, it was like 2 something. I ended up losing like $700 something. And I was blowed as hell, bro. I was so blowed. But I wasn't mad at myself. But at the same time, I realized, yeah, I can never do that again. Like, if it's a trade that there's no news coming out, there's no big news coming out, and I'm confident in it, I don't mind risking, 15-20% of the account. I don't mind doing that, to be honest, because I'm confident in it. Now, days like CPI, days like FOMC, I need to understand and realize that just put in 1 entry. And if I'm going to do that, at least go down to 2%, maybe 1% of the account, not 5%. Now, again, this was at 7 o'clock in the morning and I saw it and didn't want to miss out. So I just quickly entered. But that was absolutely idiotic on my part. But I was thinking about it as the day went on, and I was saying, I'm glad it kind of happened now that I really got this understanding that, like, when you come to the markets, make sure you're 100% there. Because if this would have happened with like a 15, 20K or 25K account amount of money, I would have been, way more pissed. But it was just like 1,500. So it's not, or excuse me, 1,800. So it's not nothing, I'm saying, to cry about. And all I'm going to do is just put more money in it when I get these other prop firm payouts. So that was the only stupid thing that I did. Now, on the funded, I wasn't mad about that because it's a regular trade. Although I lost 3%, it is what it is. I'll make that 3% back, 4%, 5% within probably 2 to 3 trades, not even, maybe 1 trade. So I'm not really worried about that. I didn't let it shake my confidence. I was just wrong in the market. Not even because of the direction, just because of news. And again, nobody could do nothing about news. But yeah, that's a trade that I took this past week. I know I don't upload every week, and that's only because I don't trade every week. I may trade 1 week, then not see a setup for 2 weeks. So then maybe not drop another video, at least not one of these. I may drop, maybe some psychology stuff here and there, might get into that. But if you don't see me drop a video, it's most likely because I didn't take a trade. And I can update you guys that on the community post if you want me to. But I don't want y'all to think, I'm inconsistent or I'm going ghost, because I'm really not. If I don't trade, then I don't really have a video. But I'll work on that. I might put together like a little game plan of what videos to do without, or on the weeks that I don't trade. Or if you guys have any type of suggestions, please let me know, because I'll definitely look into that. But that's going to be all for today's video. Like I said, I really do appreciate all the love and support. Be sure to do the same with this one. Be sure to check out the other videos. Follow my Instagram again if you're not. And I look forward to trading with y'all next week. I'm out.